Hey guys, so today's formula we're going to be looking at is the if formula. So this is one of the coolest formulas. You can do absolutely so much with it, and you're just going to love it once you get to know it. And you can use it in a lot of coding, not just Excel. But I'll show you a lot of the things you can do with if, and enjoy. Let's get right into it. So here, I'm just going to briefly explain what the if formula is about. The way I like to explain it is to say, if a test is true, then do something when it's true, and if it's not true, do something else. So let's have a little quick test on how to use this. So say we have this test cell, and we just want to test if the value in the cell is 1, right? And if the value is 1, we want it to show us the value 10, and if it is not 1, show us a value is called 0, just as an example. So in here is our formula. If we look up here, it's very simple. We're saying if H18, where our values that we want to test, if that equals 1, then we do a comma and we say 10. Well, if it's true, if that is 1, give us 10. If it's not, give us a 0. Very straightforward. So let's make this value, for instance, 55 and see what happens. Boom. Now it gives us a 0. Let's do another little test. And I'm going to call this a dynamic test. Dynamic test would simply mean everything in the formula is referencing another cell. So we can very easily change the formula. How our formula now looks is, for instance, this. I'm saying if H25, which is our test cell, equals J25, what we're testing for. Then, if that is true, it's going to give us H26 over here. And if it's not true, it's going to give us H27 over here. So we have our test cell, what we're testing for, what is going to show if it's true, what is going to show if it's not true. So currently, the test cell is 1, and we want it to be 1. So it's giving us 10. So let's change this 10 to say, for instance, yes. And then, quite cool, it will actually just bring us back yes, or we can make it 2, and it will give us 2. So let's make the test, we want to test for 50. Oh, now it's going to give us a 0. So let's make this one false, and then it will actually return false. Change it back to 1, and it will be true. Very, very cool, eh? Now, let's jump into some, let's call it more real life examples of what you can actually do with this. And remember, very important, it is all about your imagination with the if formula. It's about your creativity, because you can really do almost anything with it. Let's jump into it. Here I have a data set list. We have our dates, our suppliers, description, a quantity, and a price. So what we want to do first maybe is to say we want to check a supplier name. So for instance, say we want to say equals if, and then we say, okay, we want to check which suppliers in here in this one is Unicorn Courier. So we're going to say equals if P2 equals, and then to search, and then to equals to text, you just do it in inverted commas, inverted comma, and we're going to type in here Unicorn Couriers, close inverted commas. Okay, that's our test. Then what we want to do, if it's true, we would just want to say yes. If it's not true, maybe say no, and we close our bracket, hit enter. So it's saying this one is not Unicorn Couriers. Let's copy this formula down. Boom. Now we can very easily find Unicorn Couriers. There it is, and there it is. Let's do another one. Say we want to test to see if the price is, for instance, if it's more than $100. So we're going to say if the price is, and I would change it, not equals to, we're going to say bigger than 100. Then it's going to say maybe a big order. And if it's not 100 rand, we're going to say small, close bracket. So that's a small order, and let's copy the formula down. Small, small, big, big, big. You see what this can do for you? And now What if we want to do like a formula within if, right? We want to say, was the price per item more than a certain amount? So let's try this. Let's say if, and now we're going to do a formula, right? We're going to say if the price divided by the quantity, so the price per item, is bigger than 10 Rand, then give us 10, let's just call this over 10 per item. And if it's false, just give us less. So that's less than 10 Rand an item. Let's go down. Oh, there, that one is more than 10 Rand an item. And there you can see. Let's go to another data set. There's so much we can do with this formula. So in this one, we have the same data set. Now we're going to do a little something else. We're going to test the order. If it is a large order, we want to maybe give the guy a discount. So let's do it like this. Equals if. So if the price is, for instance, bigger than 100, now what I want to do is I want to give a new price, but including a discount. So if it's more than 100, then we want to bring back the price, but we want to put a formula with it. So let's say we want to give an 8% discount times 0.08, for instance, for 8% discount. If it's not, then just return the original price. Close bracket. Let me just do a divide there. So now, hang on, I got the wrong formula here. How do I apply a discount? Times 0.08. Okay, there we go. That price will remain as is, but this one needs to have a discount, and we want that discount to be 8%, which is 59.75. But we want it to one time give us the correct price. So we need to say here we have the return value for when it's true. Let's put it in brackets, the discount. Now we're just going to say the price minus the discount. And there we go. So that was his original price, but we're giving him a nice discount there. And we can just copy this down so it works for everybody. And up. Let's do another one. So you can even, like I say, you can use if for almost anything. So let's do a date comparison. So let's say if, and we look at the date. If the date, before I do that, is this even an Excel date format? Let's just change this quickly to a date format, otherwise it won't work. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to say equals if the date is over a certain date. So say any order after July is late, then we're going to put just a bigger than a date. We want to give a specific date, and we say the year is 2025, comma, for the month. The month would be 07, and the day would be 31st of July. If it is bigger than that date, right? If that date is bigger than that, we're going to say okay. If it's less than that date, so not bigger than that, we want to say it's late. Then we copy down, and there we go. We can see that order is late, that order is late. We can even do something else. We can say if the supplier is a specific person, the guy can maybe have a different delivery option, like maybe same day. So let's say if the supplier or customer here equals, for instance, Unicorn Couriers, then we're going to say same day delivery. And if it's not that, let's just say normal delivery. And let's copy this down. Boom, there we go. So you can clearly see, I have even some more examples here for you. Show you how you can do two tests. Test for two things in the condition, basically. So let's say if. So we want to say if for instance, if the customer equals chicken run transport, but we want to test also if the quantity they ordered is more than 40, for instance. So then what we've got to do is right in front of the test, we're going to put and we're going to put another bracket, and then right after here, we're going to say another comma and say quantity bigger than 40. Then we're going to close bracket. So that's our and, right? So now it's going to do two things. It's going to test for that, and if both is true, then I want it to just say yes. If it's not true, let's say no. So yes, because that is chicken run transport and it's more than 40. Let's go down. Here we have another chicken run transport with less than 40 quantity and still saying no. You can see that. Then we can use the same formula, same type of formula, but with the OR function. So let's say OR, right? Now we can do two tests, and it's going to say if one of the two is true, then say yes. So again, we can do the same thing. Say if that equals chicken run transport, or if the quantity is bigger than 40, right? Close the bracket for the OR, comma, value if true, so let's say yes. If it's not true, let's say no. Hit enter. So yes, because that's chicken run couriers. Ooh, these two are saying yes because the quantity is more than 40, even though the supplier is not that. And then a last one. I want to show you this. It's a bit of fun you can do with it. Not that the rest wasn't fun, it was all fun. So for instance, here we have a small data set, the name, we've got a score, order amount, and the quantity and the supplier, right? And we want to test, for instance, if the score is more than 50, give us a pass and fail, which you can see there, very similar to what we've done already. Or we can say, if the score is more than 90, we wanted to return the word, for instance, gold. But if it's not more than 90, then we wanted to do another test to say, okay, cool, if it's not more than 40, but it's more than 70, right? Or equals to 70, one wanted to give us silver. And then if it's not that, it's technically just meaning if it's less than 70, give us a bronze, right? And now we can have it return three things. Because we call it nesting an if. We have two ifs in each other. We can even have it return icons like this. As you can see here, if the quantity is more than 20, we want a nice flame. If it's not, give it a cold pouring order. And here, if we want a special thing, we can also say if it's unique on couriers, we want it to return. You can see how you can use icons within. So very similar to what we did before, but you can see how you can make this look really cool. And what's nice is it's dynamic, so the formula can stay. You can see if I change that, how the icon over there changes. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to learn more about if or any other formula, comment below, let me know what you want me to show, and I'll show it.